Hi, my name is Emily Crow, and this is my leadership development plan. I will be talking about my abstract, just a little bit about myself, fixed versus closed mindsets, modeling the way, inspire shared vision, challenge the process, enabling others, encouraging the heart, and then I just have a little conclusion. So, abstract. What's my plan? I'd always thought kind of about a plan and what I was going to do, but I never necessarily thought about it as a professional development plan. My plan all along has been to go to school, get my MBA, get my 150 credit hours that I need to take the CPA exam, and pass it. And that's basically where my plan stops. Along the way, I don't really have any goals other than hitting the goals of those three things. Saturday, I'll hit the second one, so then I just have one more. Writing it down and sharing it. This is a great idea and something that I never really did until now. I never wrote down my plan. I never wrote down my deadlines. When you write something down and you share it with others, that holds you accountable to accomplishing those goals and meeting those deadlines. But in your mind, if you just say, oh, by next week I want to work out 4 times, 5 times, who else knows that? Who else is going to hold you accountable other than yourself? And if you get busy with other things, how are you going to stop yourself? Or make yourself go work out? Not only is a professional development plan for your career, it is for yourself mentally, it is for yourself physically, emotionally. Any type of plan can be a professional development plan. It doesn't have to just be for your career or one thing, or it could be all of them and you want to change all these different things and they're all interrelated with one another. So something that my dad had recently shared with me when they were meeting with their psychologist at his work is fixed mindset versus a growth mindset. So a fixed mindset is somebody who avoids challenges, gives up easily, thinks that giving effort is a bad idea. Why would you give more effort when you don't need to? They ignore useful negative criticism. Anything negative, they just don't really want to hear about it because it's a negative concept. And they feel threatened by the success of others. Contrary growth mindset, which is basically kind of what we talked about in this class, but didn't really give it this idea of being a growth mindset. It's somebody who embraces challenges, who loves to do different things and loves to be challenged. Someone who's persistent. If you fail once, they keep trying and keep trying and keep trying until they succeed in that. They think effort is the path to mastering a skill. So the more effort you put into it, the more times that you do it, the more that you're going to become better and better and better until you master that skill, and it's very easy for you to accomplish. You learn from criticism. You don't think criticism is somebody attacking you or being mean to you, but you take it, you build upon it, you look at what is being said, not the negativities of it, but what they're trying to show to you and what they're trying to help you accomplish. And lastly, they try to give lessons and inspire others to succeed. They want others to succeed. They want to help them succeed. It doesn't make them fearful or jealous that somebody else is succeeding. They embrace it and they want to help others be as successful as they are. So modeling the way. Initially, when I thought about modeling the way, I thought, if I do something, people are going to see that and do it. Until we started reading this book and started digging a little bit deeper into it. But it actually has like a more internal meaning, whereas I was thinking it more as externally. Modeling the way. Somebody sees me go clean something, maybe they're going to do it themselves as well. But it's more of an internal thing, especially that's kind of my own goals. So my own goals internally for modeling the way are to stop and count to 5 when something happens or I want to make a comment about something, but just to try, pause, think about it before my decision is made or what I want to do. Kind of goes back to open and closed-minded, which goes to fixed and growth mindsets. I was typically very closed-minded. I was very set in my ways. I'm an accountant. That's just my personality. I think it's this way or no other way. But I need to learn more to be open-minded, so I'm really hoping that I can be more open-minded in things that I do. Hear others' opinions and maybe realize that, maybe if we mix our own opinions or mix our own way of doing something, it could even be better than what we had initially thought that each of our own perspective was on our own. And then something that I really, really want to work on is not the immediate perception of others. I don't want to judge someone. I want to wait until about 3 times meeting them or having an encounter with them before I make up my decision about them. I know first impressions is a great thing, but sometimes first impressions are scary for people, or something's going on and it's just not what they really want it to be, so I'm trying to be a little bit more understanding about that. So the ways that I'm going to model the way and monitor it, I'm going to keep a log. Different things happen, and I'm going to sit there and I'm going to write it down. Kind of write what I thought during it, what I thought later in the day, and then at the end of the day, I'm going to write down what I think about it, what I could have done differently, how I could have said something differently, or how I thought things went. I like that because then at the end of this on June 10th, I can look back at it and say, wow, on that first day when that happened, that's what I was thinking. Look at where I'm at now when something like that happens to me. Asking others for help. You don't have to ask somebody, hey, have you seen that I've stopped making comments really quickly or that I wait and count? Just say, hey, have you seen any changes in my behavior? Do you notice anything different? Or just wait for them to say something to you, and maybe they will come up to you and notice some changes in your own personality. My deadline is June 10th. I chose June 10th because that is my sister's wedding, and I really like to, just be able to meet all these new people and not make an immediate judgment of them. It's a wedding, how things go at weddings. Sometimes they're tense, sometimes they're fun, sometimes they're all of the above. Like I said, what I hope to gain from this, though, is a better ability to relate to others, greater patience, and fewer of my quote-unquote witty comments. Inspire a shared vision. This kind of entails visualizing the future, dreaming, electrifying, and enabling others, and trusting them to share your ambitions. Go up to somebody, kind of tell them what you're thinking, tell them, maybe see if you can get them to relate to you, and kind of build upon it and build upon it and build upon it. An interesting concept that I talked about in my paper was sharing the blame. A lot of times people don't want to address the issues that need to be addressed. Say things aren't going the way that they should be out of school, or littering, or just kind of things that people aren't that great at wanting to admit that they did something wrong. But if you share that blame and you have more people coming and saying, hey, that is wrong, hey, we need to change that, you're going to get it changed. You're going to get more people along on your side. So kind of my own personal experience with Inspire a Shared Vision is I was on our Student Athletic Advisory Committee while in my undergrad at Ohio Dominican, and Make-A-Wish was our foundation that we like to raise money for. So we tried different events, they didn't seem to get people going. So we decided to implement our home run derby. Some of you who went in their undergrads may have heard of it. It started out very small. There was maybe 20 kids that showed up to our very first one. It was very discouraging, we got all this stuff, we got ready for it, we brought t-shirts, we brought hot dogs, all this stuff, and nobody really showed up to it. It was really discouraging. It didn't stop us. We continued to try it again. By the one my senior year, we had over 100 people show up, and about 50 people participate in the home run derby. They were asking if we could do 2 of them a year. They were loving it. People kept coming back and back and back and wanting more. So once you kind of share that vision with others, after we realized that the first one didn't really go well, we went and met with other organizations on campus, other teams, other professionals. We invited staff, we invited faculty, everyone to this event. And as we told more people what we were trying to do and what it was about, it spread and spread and spread. And like I said, my last one was 100 kids, and I know the one this past year was just as big, if not bigger. So what is my vision? My vision now, what I kind of decided during this class, is to change people's perceptions of what an accountant is like. Everybody thinks of an accountant as somebody who's very strict, follows the rule, very boring, just, not a very pleasant person to talk to. But I want to change that. I want to change it because I'm an accountant. I'm not like that. I know a lot of kids that are in this generation that aren't like that, and I don't want people to think of us like that. How am I going to do that? In my undergrad, I talked to a lot of kids that were in my accounting program, and we kind of made this pact. Hey, we want to change what people think of accountants. We are going to go and do that. So I'm trying to enlist more and more kids, and as they start working at their organizations, they'll enlist more, and it'll build and build and build. For this one, don't really have a deadline. I really can't put a deadline on it because it's just how much other people are going to put in there, how much work they're going to put into doing it. And my personal deadline, I have to get, by the time I get to my CPA, is when I want at least people to see a different perception in me and what they think an accountant is. So challenge the process. Initially, when I thought about challenge the process, I thought it was just, somebody wants you to do something, you're going to go against it or do it differently just because that's challenging it. It's not really what it means at all. Challenge the process is looking at it in a different way, a more productive way, a more efficient way, some other way that you can improve what's being done not do it completely different or go against what is being done. So this is kind of something that I'm really passionate about right now at my work. I'm the youngest person there by about 4 or 5 years, and we don't really have that many people who are good with technology or making things efficient or just any organization, because things just get thrown and thrown and nobody is willing to go through those things. And our one partner put me in charge of kind of helping train people and showing them, one thing that we're talking about right now that I just don't understand is we print out documents and then we scan them into a PDF. We can print them all to PDF and merge them into one giant document. Don't have to waste paper. Don't have to waste somebody's time of printing, putting the papers together, and then scanning it when you can do it all in one thing. So that's my current project right now. Change is scary or is it exciting? For me, depending on the change, it can be either way. Sometimes I get really excited about it, especially something like at my work. You know what? We're going to change things around. We're going to see all the difference. You guys are going to see how much help this actually is. But I have to stop and wait and think, you know what, this change may be scary to other people. They've been here for so many years. They've done it this way for so long. I need to slow things down, help them understand it, and just take it one step at a time. What do I want to challenge? Like I said, I want to challenge people's perceptions of what an accountant is. That is my challenge. I don't want people to think, your normal accountant is somebody that you see once a year to get your taxes done. I don't want them to see them and think that, what's going on, can't really talk to them about it. They're going to turn you in or get you in trouble and all these different kind of things. Enabling others to act. Enabling others to act is the cooperation by constructive competence and increasing self-determination and developing competencies. What do those big words mean? You talk to somebody, you encourage them, you get them confident in what they are doing. You show them that they're doing it right and they will cooperate with you. Self-determination, you show someone, hey, you can do this. You encourage them, you show them that they can accomplish all these different things, that they are competent enough to do them, and you just help them build and build and build upon them. How do you get others to act? Well, I get others to act by sharing my vision. I like to listen to what they want and what they're talking about, and I try to relate it to one another. That's one of the hardest things to do, is getting somebody to relate to what you're doing. So you talk to them for a little bit first, kind of pick up on different things, and then you tell them what it is and incorporate that into some part of their life, some part of what they want, or some part of their dream. How will I get other accountants to act? I'll go and tell them, like, hey, this is what I'm thinking. I know a lot of you aren't like the typical accountant. I know that you guys don't want to do this anymore. I want to change people's perceptions, but I need your help to do this. And explain to them the great possibilities that can happen out of this, or the outcome of it, and how much people will like us better than they had before. Because let's be honest, nobody likes going to their accountant. Nobody likes hearing all the things that we have to tell you. Encouraging the heart. My first kind of thought about this is your head or your heart. So when I think of enabling others to act, you're kind of addressing their head. You're making them think about it. You're making them replay it. You want to do it. But when you encourage their heart is where you hit it at home for them. When you encourage their heart and hit it at home, they think about it. They relate to it. They want it to happen more often. And that's what really drives them. Once you relate your goals and dreams to others is when you relate to their heart. If you tell them, hey, if you do this or you can accomplish this, this is what's going to happen. You relate it to them. You make them feel a part of it. And you make them want to see and help build upon it. Which kind of makes me think about listening versus hearing. When you talk to someone, don't just hear what they're saying. Don't just let it go in one ear and out the other. Actually listen to what they're saying. When you listen to what they're having to say, you're going to pick up more on what they're doing, and you're going to understand it. And that's how you're going to relate it to them and encourage their heart. And like I said, you build and expand upon ideas. So say somebody tells you something like, I have a really strong passion for getting kids healthy. In your mind, you're like, what, I really want to clean up our parks, and I want to make them better. You relate that, The park is a great place for the kids to come out and play. If you get these kids out there, I'm sure that they'll be running around getting that exercise. You can even get them to come out there and clean it. Help you clean it. Show them all the different things that you can do out there and how great our parks can be. And then they would start thinking about it and saying, oh, that's a good idea. We don't have to just maybe, send them to a camp or put them in an activity. They can just go out and play on their own. So my conclusion, I didn't write anything on this slide because the way I think about it, I've given you all that I have. I can't give you a definite conclusion right now because I don't have one. I haven't accomplished my goals. I haven't gotten where I want to be yet, but it's open-ended. So I have my idea. I have my plan. I'm going to build upon it, and then I'll have my conclusion when I accomplish that. But I'm hoping as I get closer to finishing up this leadership development plan that I have going on right now, I'm going to have another one going underway, and another one, and never let something stop me. I'm going to continue to build, continue to improve myself, and continue to grow.